Hello everyone, welcome to the course on web development from Desi Q&A. So this is the second lecture of CSS. So in this lecture we will learn about the properties in CSS. For that let's create a HTML document and I will name it as properties, and let's have a h1 tag. In that we will write our heading. So this lecture is all about using the properties in CSS. So basically, using the properties itself, the whole CSS is used. So next we will use a paragraph tag. Let's use lorem 500. So yeah, and then let's use a style tag. This is the internal CSS. So here, suppose if you want to color the p tag. So in the properties of the CSS, the one of the most used property is that the color property. So let's use the color. So in CSS we use the spelling of the color as COLOR. So basically in most of the programming languages it is same. We don't use COLOUR in the programming languages for the color. So suppose we want to color our h1 tag. So color, let's say we want the blue color. So let's go live. So yeah, we can see that our heading has got the blue color. So this is how the color property in the CSS work. You can also give different colors. You can give any number of colors. You can you can give just the name of the color. You can say orange, or you can give some purple. So you can just type the name of the color here, so the color will be applied. So this is one of the method to select the color, and one more method is like RGB. So RGB means R, red, green and blue. So using these colors we have the different intensity. You can specify different intensity for your color. Suppose you want 0, let's say even this is 0, and even this is 0. So this gives the black color. So this gives the black color. This gives different colors you can use. So RGB, and here you can use this color palette and color your elements. And one more thing is we have this opacity here. You can also change the opacity of your element here. See, this stands for red, green and blue. So this is nothing but the opacity of your color. So you can change it over here, and see, to make it more darker, you slide this and it will become more darker. So this is how basically the color property works in CSS. You can also give some hexadecimal values, like let's use different one. You can also use hexadecimal values by using this hash symbol and then F. So this stands for white. So you can change it to anything. See, this stands for red, and you can make it same, different colors using this. You can also use the hexadecimal values for the colors, and you can hover over it, and then you can click on template reference and open this website. This is the website from Google, and you can open this, and you can see, you will understand more in detail about these colors. Okay, so get time and understand those concepts over there. And one more property we have is background color. So background color, you can give any color. Let's give aqua, and the same happens here. The same color property is applied over here, but it took place in the background. So this is how it works. And one more property we have is background border color. So give any border color. So you can give any border color, and this is how it works. And then one more thing we can give is the most important thing, the usual one we use is the property of background repeat or background image. Okay, so background image. So here we use URL. This is the syntax to use the background image, and here you give the name of the image dot whatever the extension. So this is how basically we specify the background image. And as of now I have one image here, this memories logo.png. We will use it over here, this one. So yeah, you can see that has been applied over here, but we cannot see it clearly now because we have written a lot of code here that will not work in this way. So let's remove this background color and background. So you can see this over here, and we can give the background repeat. So this image can be repeated any number of time. You can reduce it. So you can make it anything, like don't want it to repeat, you can make it no repeat. So basically this image is not looking good, right? We are rarely seeing the image here. So for that, what we have to do is we have to specify the height and width of our image. Let's specify it in the pixels. Height is equal to 100 pixels and width is equal to some 100 pixels. So no, this is not working. So for that, what we will do is we will increase this, and width also we will increase and we'll make it to 1000 pixels. We can see it here now, and we can see after this we have our paragraph content over here. So this is how it works. If I comment it out, this, you can see that we are seeing many number of images here, as many as number of images both in the horizontal and vertical line. So for that, what we have to do is we have to uncomment this. So background repeat, you can also make it to repeat in the x-axis, and you can also make it repeat in the y-axis, repeat y. if you make it repeat y, it will only repeat in the y axis, and if you make it repeat x, it will repeat in the x axis. Yeah, we can see. So yeah, this is how the images work. And one more thing we have is, let's make it no repeat. And in this we have is background attachment. Suppose you don't want this to move, you don't want this image to move. For that, what we can do is background fixed. We can see that this image is being constant here, but the content is moving. So this is how it basically works. And let's see the next thing, background position. This defines the background position. You can keep it center. We can see that this is aligned at the center. And yeah, this is how it works. You can try out as many as number of options we have. You know, uh, you can see bottom, inherit, initial. You try it on your own and explore it on your own to understand it in more better way. We'll make it enter, and also you can make it scroll. If I make it scroll, this image is getting scrolled, you can see. So this is how it works. If you want this to come above this image, what we will do is create one class here. Let's say class is equal to background. You can name it anything, background, and we will apply it to background. Dot background. So yeah, you can see that this image is applied at the background. You can make it fixed. And we see that the content is being moved, but the image at the background is as it is. So this is how it basically works, and you can explore it on your own, try all the properties and values related to this on your own. And if you explore it on your own, you will learn a lot. So you can also go to the MDN references. You can see here, go to MDN references, explore about a lot of properties over there. So the next property we will use is about the fonts. So let's say I want to use H1 element to style, and then font family. This is a property we have. You can use any font family. Suppose I use this Times New Roman, and so basically what happens is there are three fonts. You can see Times New Roman, Times Serif. It is because that if your browser is not able to find this Times New Roman, then this Times font will be used. Even after checking these, if both of these are not present in your browser, like you cannot use this, then it will use this. So most of the operating systems, all these are downloaded. So that's not the big issue, but it is better, always better to use it in this way. So the next is font size. You can change the font size. Um, you can make it 200%, or you can make it 700%. You can see the size of the font has been increased. So this is how it works. And then you can make it as much as you can. You can also have this by default large. So yeah, this is how you can use it. And one more thing is, apart from this, we also have the option of using different fonts from the browser. So you can go to Chrome and you can search Google font and visit this website. So you can select any font you want. Let's say all fonts look same. So yeah, let's say I want to use this font. Just scroll it down. Uh, so yeah, here there is a link. You just copy this link. See, there is a link for the style sheet. You copy this link and come to your VS Code, and you have to copy it here after meta. Let's copy it after meta. You have to use this after before your style sheet. You have to use this link before your style sheet, because the browser should load this font before it loads your style. Okay, so for that reason we have this, and the next thing we have to do is what the name it has. We will copy this and let's go here. Yeah, here we will copy it. Okay, so yeah, you can see the font here has been changed. So this is how the Google fonts work. Yeah, that looks better now. And also you can change the weight of the font weight. We have this. You explore all these properties. Font weight, this one, and you can make it anything. Let's make bold. It is already a bold, so we will change to something else. Let's make bolder and see. So that is even bolder. So um 300, 3000. So that is changing. So it actually needs very large value, percent. So yeah, this is how it basically works. So we can use the font weight to make our font look more darker, or you can say you are increasing the intensity of your font. And then the next thing we have is formatting text with CSS. So formatting text in CSS is a very big thing you should learn. So basically, um, you can see the first property we have is this. Related to text formatting, the first property we have is the color property, and the next thing is text align. Let's use it for this only. text align, and text align you can make it to left. It is already in left, so there is no difference. So you can make it to right. Yeah, the text has went to right, or you can make it to center. The text now is at the center, so you can use justify. So basically what the justify will do, it stretches and straights the content of that element from left to right margin. So this is what the justify does. And the next property we have is text decoration. So text decoration, you can make it overline. We see that this line has came above our element, our h1 element, we see a line. So this is overline. And the next thing we have is line through. You can see the line through has been applied here. And next is underline. You can see our content is underlined properly, even though we have used a different font, it has underlined properly. And then you can use full width. We have none. So yeah, there is no property applied here. So let's make it underline. That may look good. Now that's not looking good. So let's just leave it none. So this is how the text decoration works on our content. And the next thing we have is text indent. Text indent. Text indent, you can make it to 0. Text indent is nothing but the difference, the distance you can see. So text indent cannot be seen for this h1 tag because this is just a one line. So let's apply this text indent for our p tag. Text indent, let's say 0%. So there is no text indentation as we can see, and let's give it 30%. So yeah, you can see the content here. The lorem was here, it has moved to this side. So 30% is very big. So let's just give 10%. Even that is large. So we will give just 5%. Yeah, that looks better now. So this is how the text indent works. And then suppose if I give, even if you do so, it will just give the text indent over the first word. So this is how it basically works. And then the next thing we have is you can also give it in the rem, a rem. So rem is nothing but you can go to the Indian reference and you can learn about rem over there. So it is a big thing that you should learn. So basically you can just use the percentage or the pixels. So that will work too. So next thing is letter spacing. Letter spacing is suppose you want distance between the letters. So for that what we will do is normal. The first thing is normal. You can just keep it normal as it is, or you can change it to 2 rem. Yeah, that's quite very big, so we can see it very badly. So we will make it 1 rem. Even that is very large, so let's use 0.2 rem. So yeah, that's kind of understanding. You can see the distance between the letters have been increased to a small size. So yeah, this looks good. And then the next thing we have is, don't think that we are making our web page look more uglier. It is just we are learning how to build the web pages. So by learning each and every property, we will get into building a new website on our own. So the next thing is word spacing. Word spacing. So here also you can just keep it normal as it is. You don't need to specify it. It will be just normal. So you can specify um, 0.1 rem. So yeah, you can see that a small change has been applied over there. If it is, yeah, you can see how the change has been applied over there. This is how the word spacing works. And you can give the another property, line height. So basically the line height is nothing but it specifies the distance between each line. Let me explain it in more better way. Suppose if you give it 4, so what this 4 specifies is that we are using this for the p tag, right? We are using this for the p tag. The 4 means the distance between the lines is 4 times of the size of the p tag. So this is kind of difficult to understand, but you can just try it on your own and understand. This 4 specifies the distance between the two lines is 4 times of the p tag. So yeah, this is how it is. Let's just give 1. So give it 2 and see the difference. So the next thing is text shadow. Text shadow is nothing but to make your content look like, like 3D. To look like 3D, you can use the text shadow. So basically, the text shadow uses this syntax. First, it takes let me explain it in this way. Text shadow. It takes the values for the x-axis and it takes values for the y-axis and blur how much amount the blur should be at the background, like for the shadow, and the color what you want to give. So this is the syntax what you have to give as values for the text shadow property. So let's just give it for our h1. Text shadow, let me give it 1 and then 1, and let's give the blur as 20 or anything you can give. So the color, so let's give the color red. So we are not able to see any difference because we have given very small values for the right and left. Let's give it 20 and let's give it 10 and the blur 1. So you can try it on your own for the different values and see how exactly it works. So this is how the text shadow works. You can give any values over here and you can try it on your own to understand how basically the text shadow works and how these values inside the text shadow are taken. So these values will have the greater impact on giving the text shadow. So make sure you give the proper values and try it on your own to understand how much impact these numbers do have on the text shadow. So uh, let's give comma here. Not with the commas or anything. So the values you have to give is in the form of pixels and pixel. So this is very large, I gave it very large for this, so it came here. It came at the bottom, so we will just make it 4 to make it more visible. So yeah, this is how it works. You can just make it 3 to make look it good. So yeah, that looks good. Now you can remove the blur content, um, and it works the same. You can also change the color as you want, and yeah, here how it actually works with the colors. So this is about the playing with the text and formatting text with the css. So this is how it basically works, and try it on your own. The next thing is the shorthand property. As a software developer, you should know about the shorthand properties. um, to explain about the shorthand properties, so the shorthand properties are used to write the multiple values in a property. It saves time and energy, makes the code easy to read. If we are making this code very large, right? So you can make it or write it in just one line. So let me show you how you can write it in just one line. So for the background shorthand, what we have is we basically use the background color, we specify the color, background image, we specify the image. So we write this type of a lot of properties, right? Instead of that, we can just write it as um, background, and then what you can do is um, like this. We shall use it for our background, and then for this background, we want to specify some properties. First, what you will specify is the color. You can specify anything. 6, yeah. And then you have to specify the image. Give it any image. And then you have to specify the repetition property. We can keep it as no repeat. And then where you have to keep it, left or top. So this is how basically this background works, and you can just try it on your own to understand it in much better way. Likewise, we can use some other properties like the for font shorthand. Font For font we can use italic, and then we specify the font weight, and then we specify the size. You can use any size. Suppose you want to use 12 pixel, and then you specify the font family. Let's say Arial. You can just copy it from anywhere. Now you can get the name of the font. Or to get it by default, what you can do is you can just, the way you can use it. Suppose if you want to use it inside of the p tag, what you can do is shift it up and we will shift this down. So you can use this in this way. Don't worry about the styles that has applied over here. We're just understanding how the shorthand properties work. So for the font we use in this way, and then for the border what we do is um border, and then we will specify about the border width. So you can say 1 pixel, and then you should specify the style, let's say solid, and then you should specify about the color, any color. So this is how you can see the border has been applied here. You can see a slight difference. I'll make it 10 pixel. So yeah, we had not learned about this border property, right? So yeah, this is how it works here. And then one more thing we have is the margin property that we have not learned yet. We will learn it. So let's just see how the shorthand property works for this margin. So we will specify what should be the margin at the top, suppose 10 pixel, and then we will specify what should be the margin at the bottom, let's say 5 pixel, and then no, this is the margin at the right, and then we will specify the margin at the bottom. This is a kind of anti-clockwise, and we will specify at the margin at the left. So let's say 5 pixel. So this is how it basically works. You can explore more shorthand properties here. You can search like css font shorthand. You can search in this way. You can go to any website. You can go to W3 schools and see how it actually works. You can explore it over there and you can learn a lot of things over there.